Hachapu, hachapu. Heru nefer, heru nefer. Looking forward to getting it in today. All right, so we're going to get in today. Going to be a slightly different session. We're going to quickly review the all over body check-in from a standing posture. If you're used to doing it seated, go ahead and do it seated. But we're going to get into our Adumbration. We're going to do our Shiasha. We're going to do about 4 breaths of Asar Stance. Just a reminder to get in there, check your body. You want to do Asar Stance every day. The goal is to build up to 20 minutes at a time. Then we'll get into the all over body check-in and the Asar Stance. In doing that, we just want to really get the body moving a little bit, check in while we're standing, and get a review of the standing way to do it. And then we'll get into short form very briefly. And today what we're going to do is we're going to go over sunsets. Hopefully you practice sunrises over the mountain and sunsets. And so what we're going to do in the interim is head on into ward off to the right. Okay. And so we're going to start that process so that we can begin to understand the main purpose of self-defense is to not be where the folks are trying to come at you. Okay. So we're going to get started. Let's go ahead. Let's get moving. And then we'll get a breathing exercise in at the end. And of course, wisdom from the sages of the ages. But let's get it in. We're going to bow in. We say to all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Teacher to student, student to teacher. Okay. So we're going to get a little lower quickly. There we go. So it's easier to see. Bring the hands in here for a little bit of balance. Not a little bit. This will aid you in your balance. Feet are parallel, shoulders width. You're going to shift the weight, pick up the foot, and rotate. And then change direction. All right, put it down on the heel and wiggle the toes. And then start with the big toe and work your way around all the way to the pinky toe. And we're going to switch. And change direction. Put it down on that heel. Wiggle the toes. Big toe by itself. And work all the way to the pinky toe. Excellent. And we start with the shoulder. Take it to the front. Like I said, we're just going to double check, get it in, other shoulder. And take it to the front. All right. And we start with the wrist. Get it in. I'll come a little closer so we can see it much more easily. Get it in with the wrist. Change that direction. Then we wiggle the fingers. Then we do one at a time. Other hand. Change direction. Wiggle the fingers, and one at a time. Excellent. So now we can rotate the head. The goal is to get, while moving slowly, full range of motion. And you know, the range of motion from doing this should increase if you're doing this every day, naturally. And once you're looking to the left, you're going to go up and down. And come on to the right, up and down. And then front and center. And take the head around in a circle. And go the other direction. All right, so get that. Do the Wu Chi, pyramid hands, step in. Let's get this Asar Stance. Pyramid hands. Shift the weight to the right, slide that left foot into Wu Chi, shake it out. We're a little abbreviated here today. So our goal is to get you in and get ready. All right, feet parallel, shoulders width. Gonna get the short form in. Then we're gonna emphasize ward off to the right. So let's go. Sunrise is over the mountain and sun sets, as we remember. Here we are with our ward off. We grasp the bird's tail. Gonna go all the way through the form. We want to make sure that we get our appropriate practice in every day. This is our time where we refine because we're working together. All right, shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. All right, good. Now, what we're going to do while we're here is I want you to see this center line coming down, coming right through that right there. I'm going to be right on that center line. And so as we ward off, what I want you to see is first thing we do is shift the weight to get off the line, then you pivot, okay? And so if you can see, I'm not on that line. Most importantly is as you're doing that, you're also taking that right leg out up on the heel, toes up. All the weight is on the left leg. And so we do that in concert with the hands here. What I want you to be able to see is you shift the weight, the hand comes in. See? So it's not just one movement. We're moving fluidly with multiple parts of the body. So the body's up. So that happens. And as you turn, that brings the arm around and here. And so what we're working on with ward off to the right, I'm going to get in a little tighter. So what we're working on with ward off to the right affords you the opportunity to as you shift the weight, this brings the arm in, and you pivot on the heel, you're off the line with the majority of your body, and then you're shifting your weight. So this is changing the orientation, but also it's a variation on this exercise that we have done earlier from the beginning. So the hand comes in, we're rotating the wrist outward. So it's here. I want you to see the circle. See the circle here? And so I'm just moving my hand, it's up and down, but this is the circle. Now, as we do it here, it's also with the turn, so it's creating more of a vortex energy. So it's extending the circle to a larger space. And in doing so, what happens is, in the doing of that, as we're moving, what it's affording you is the opportunity to, the early part of wrestling, to change the angle, and have, should someone have placed their hands on you, this enables you to get them off of you. If they just reach and grab, you're able to get out using the ward off position. Okay, so this one is really, really simple. And my goal is Friday, I'll have, may have the Empress available so we can actually get this, so you can see that it's not about height and size and weight difference. Utilizing the Tai Chi principles, it enables you to be able to correctly move. And so let's try it again. We're going to do sunrises over the mountain, sunsets, and you're going to shift the weight, which brings the arm in off the line, pivot, and then you get into roll the ball, ward off, and then step as you step in. Okay, it's here. So the movement, again, affords you the opportunity, when sped up, to rapidly get someone off you, keeping the weight and the hips. And this is why it's important to get up to your 20 minutes of Asar Stance, so that you have an opportunity to have some belief in your legs, and your legs have belief in your body, and you're building that relationship. So when you need to move quickly, your body will not let you down, because you've put in the work to create the feeling of wholeness within your body. Got it? All right, so we'll do it again. Sunrises, just to ward off to the right. Shift the weight. See, the hands are working in concert. And the main reason the hands are working in concert is that you come in here, here. And so this hand takes from the forearm to the wrist, and this hand can actually come up and either go to the elbow here, hyperextending as this arm comes back, the rotation of the body, or you can go to the shoulder and step in and take the person down to the ground. Okay, so we'll do that also one more time, just so you get a fuller understanding. Sunrises over the mountain, ward off. And that's what the shifting of the weight is for, so that you come in here, it's here, you shift, and that shifting of the weight and turning of the waist puts you in position to protect yourself even further, and to take the person to the ground or take the elbow. Now, most folks aren't used to seeing Tai Chi Chuan, so I'm going to do it straight on. So like here, taking the elbow, this is where we ward off, and as it ward off, this is at the wrist, and if need be, you can just drop that over. So the person's fist is here, and you just dropping this hand down, not grabbing, just dropping the hand down. And then that comes forward, and that happens as you're shifting your weight and turning the waist. And that pops the capsule in the elbow. So very painful. And so you have an opportunity to address that. Tai Chi Chuan is designed to give you choices and options, and to increase what is available to you. So that being said, we're going to get our breathing exercise in. Then we're going to get out of here for the day with our wisdom from the sages of the ages. So I want you to just sit tall, close your eyes. Hands or palms down, like so. And we're just going to breathe in, cleansing breath out through the mouth, in through the nostrils, cleansing breath out through the mouth. You want to see that fire roaring in the belly. Doing your bellows breathing. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to breathe in and press up as we breathe out. In, pressing up as we breathe out. One more time, in. Pressing up as we breathe out. Okay, here we go. Watching in. More air in. More air in. More air in. Fill up. Turn to the right. Turn to the left. Back to the front. And exhale. Shake it out. Opposite hand, opposite leg. We'll get right to it. The Essence of Tai Chi Chuan, the literary tradition. Throughout the body, the mind relies on the spirit, not on the breath. If it relied on the breath, it would become stagnant. If there is breath, there is no external strength. If there is no breath, there is pure steel. There we go with the teachings of Tai Chi. All right, so here we go. If you are angered by a misdeed, then lean towards a person on account of their rightness. Pass over the misdeed and don't remember it, since God was silent to you on the first day of your misdeed. And from the Tao Te Ching, universal application. The softest things in the world can match and overcome the hardest. Non-being penetrates even the crackless. Thus, the value of non-interference is clear to me. The teaching without words and the virtue of non-interference can hardly be matched in the world. Thank you for your participation, your attendance, your attention, and your presence for the gift that it brings. We bow out, saying to all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Teacher to student, student to teacher, Ashe. Paying respects to the ancestors and giving homage to eternal witnesses of the earth and sky. I bid you peace, Hatep, and Haru Nefer, good day. Thank you so much. See you all soon. Practice, practice, practice. These are very basic, simple movements. However, if you don't practice them, they become very difficult to do under duress. We'll review everything that we've done on Friday and hopefully have our assistant with us so we can manifest, so you can get to practice and see what it's like to have it done. So we'll get that in. Peace, everyone.